Hello, everyone, and welcome to ABC, All About Canada, a program that educates, informs, and inspires our fellow kababayans with interesting topics, issues happening in the community today. I am your host. My name is Rovic Canono. I'm also an immigration consultant and a realtor in British Columbia. Our topic for today is very interesting, very timely. A lot of Filipinos would like to know about this, especially those who would like to get work in Canada. It's the top 5 tips for a successful work permit application to be able to work in Canada. And we have a very special guest. She is a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, meaning she is licensed by the Canadian government to process applications for work permit, study permit, and all other immigration pathways. And she is also a professional employment recruiter or a headhunter. Ria Inducil-Abesamis.
Thank you so much, Rovic. I hope you're having a good day. And to your viewers, everybody, welcome to this. Is this a podcast? Is it
Yeah,
kind of a yeah
yeah.
yeah
Initially in Facebook, in the different Facebook pages.
yeah
Eventually, it will go online in different
yeah
platforms.
okay yeah thanks for doing this for the Filipinos, Rovic. I know Rovic as somebody who is really passionate about helping people, and that's why one call from Rovic, and I'd always say yes to any activity that involves helping our kababayans. That's why andito tayo ngayon for our top 5 tips for
Yes.
a successful
Oo,
application for a work permit
that's right.
in
Pero
Canada.
bago tayo pumunta sa 5 tips ni immigration consultant Ria, uh, they are probably our viewers and listeners are interested. Bakit ka ba napasok sa pagiging immigration consultant?
Yeah. Okay, well, lahat naman tayo, no? We had our dream of living in Canada. And that for me started in 2008. Okay, when I was here as a tourist. I was visiting my mom, my sister, my siblings, and I was going to attend my sister's wedding. And at that time, I had a good career back in the Philippines. So I wasn't thinking at all of moving here. Pero syempre, nandito yung family mo eh. Parang gusto mo maging close ka. As you get older, parang gusto mo maging close ka sa roots mo, sa family mo. But then, it wasn't easy. So what I did was, as a tourist, I started looking for a job. And then I that's what I did. No, nakahanap ako ng trabaho, and lo and behold, somebody wanted to hire me. Okay? And then to cut the long story short, binigyan ako ng nomination, provincial nomination. Mamaya pag-usapan natin 'yan. But I got a provincial nomination, then a work permit, then 6 months later, PR na ako. At that time, that was in 2009. It was almost like an impossible program. But now, it is an actual program, right? As a tourist, you can look for a job here. Anyway, so it's immigration in Canada has evolved so much. And so kaya ako na in love sa immigration because that's what happened to me. Okay, in 2009. So when I got the chance to actually study and become licensed, I grabbed the opportunity to become an immigration consultant. It was later on in my career kasi I had, yung nag-hire sa akin na employer, I hired me as a recruiter. So it was a very busy job.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a chance to study. As an immigration consultant, you need to study. Rovic, you know that. We had
That's
to
right.
really, really put our mind and heart and our souls into
Immigration
it.
law. Yeah.
So that, yes, it's law, right? So you have to really give it time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears. Ika nga.
Yeah. So mga kababayan, lahat ng mga Pilipino rito halos merong magagandang storya. Siguro next
Yeah.
time magkaroon tayo ng program, yung mga interesting
Yeah. So
mga stories.
So yun, that's how I started. Okay, I was given an opportunity to become an immigrant through via the provincial nominee program.
Yeah.
And then when I got the chance during the pandemic actually to get a license, I did that, and that's how I started to help our Filipino kababayans
That's
to
right.
come here. Not just Filipinos, but
Yeah.
people
Other
from all over the
nationalities
world.
as well. Very interesting, Ria. So bago
Mhm.
tayo mag-proceed dito sa 5 top tips for a successful work permit application, taga saan ka sa Pilipinas?
Well, my mom is from Baliwag, Bulacan.
Oh,
And my dad
Bulacan.
was from San Rafael, Bulacan. So both from Bulacan.
Oh,
But I
Bulacan.
never really lived there. So ang root ko talaga is Quezon City.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much,
Mm.
Ria Inducil-Abesamis. Ngayon mga kababayan, marami kasing gustong pumunta rito nga as a worker. So it's about time we tackle the 5 top tips for a successful work permit application.
Okay, perfect.
Number
So
5.
top 5.
Number
Yes.
5 pala. Number 5. 10
Top
yan.
5.
Top 5.
Yes. Top 5. Okay. First, okay. So top 5 natin is, okay, alamin muna kung kailangan mo nga ng work permit. Okay? Kung eligible ka for a work permit. Okay? Kasi to me, okay, if I were to discuss this sa client ko, I will discuss with them, okay, two major categories ang work permit. Yung LMIA-based work permit or open work permit. Okay? Yung LMIA-based, I'm sure narinig na yan ng mga kababayan natin, LAMIA. LAMIA is how they call that. Okay? Labor Market Impact Assessment. Okay? Yan yung unang category na gusto ko i-discuss. Yung LAMIA-based work permit is not an open work permit. Okay? It's a closed work permit. Okay? Ngayon, very employer-driven yan. Ngayon, kung wala kang employer, kung ang employer na nag-offer sa'yo ng trabaho ay walang LMIA approval from Service Canada or ESDC, they are not supposed to be offering you any job. Okay, because they need to be approved by ESDC first, okay, before they are allowed to hire foreign workers. So LMIA-based work permit. Okay, we will discuss how you can apply for an LMIA-based work permit and the requirements for that later on in our discussion. Pero yung open work permit, it's much easier to discuss because itong open work permit na to is for many applicants na qualified because, okay, of either yung spouse nila or parent nila ay either they have a valid study permit or a valid work permit. Okay? So by virtue of
may status na rito yung relative niya at kinuha sila, qualified sila for open work permit. Mga kababayan, pag sinabing open work permit, kahit saan, kahit na anong employer, pwede kang magtrabaho. Yung closed work permit kasi, doon ka lang sa employer na yon magtatrabaho. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so hindi lang yan. Merong open work permit is also given to, for example, if you've applied for a provincial nominee program, okay, pag nominated ka na, you can already apply for, a work permit. Okay, it can be an open work permit with, actually no, that's under LMIA based pa rin, yung provincial nominee. I was thinking about exemption to the LMIA. Now, for another, basically meron ka pa ring open work permit kung as a business owner. Okay, pwede yan. As a business owner, pwedeng maging eligible for an open work permit kung, okay, if you're transferred from your company in the Philippines to a company here. So Actually, Rovic, very complicated to. You have to go through, yung the employer portal. Merong mga steps to take in order to be eligible for an open work permit under the entrepreneur program. Pero pwede yun. It's possible. Okay? Maybe for a streamlined discussion, mas maganda na i-discuss natin yung also yung requirements for an LMIA based work permit. Kasi from the Philippines, yan ang pinakamaraming nagiging cases, at least for my clients, LMIA based work permit talaga. So I guess for the top 5 tips, gusto ko lang malaman nila is that there are 2 categories. Okay, LMIA based work permit, which of course you need an employer for that, and an open work permit when you don't necessarily need, okay, a particular employer to give you a job offer, because you come here and you look for a job by virtue of your open work permit.
All right, so let's go to top 4. The 4th tip for a successful work permit application in Canada.
Okay. The 4th tip, or the top 4 tip, is that, okay, not all who are eligible for a work permit, open work permit, or any work permit, it can bring their families with them. Kasi yan yung, I'm sure, yan yung one of the top questions na tinatanong, pwede ko ba dalhin yung pamilya ko? Okay. Now, this is a very sensitive topic, not just because, okay, of course, sa ating mga Pilipino, gusto natin, syempre, parati natin kasama yung pamilya natin, di ba? When we work. Kasi, na tayo yung mga overseas Filipino workers, parang ayaw na natin yan dahil, di ba, yung mga nagsa-Saudi before, yung mga nagdo-Dubai. Gusto naman natin, pag Canada, kasama natin yung pamilya natin. Pero
saka talagang long-term plan nila na bitbitin ng buong pamilya for citizenship, permanent residency, di ba? Hindi lang talaga work. Kumbaga meron silang iba pang plans, which is wala namang problema, mga kababayan.
Okay. Pero, well, there's good news and bad news. Hindi lahat ng work permit holders nadadala ang pamilya nila. Okay? Kahit na dependent pa yan. Because, first, okay, meron tayong list dito. I want to be very clear. Pag sinabi ko na, okay, you can bring your family, pero may exceptions. Okay? Sa mga work permit holders.
Interesting.
Pag low wage stream, ang temporary foreign worker, hindi pwede yan.
Mga kababayan, ang low wage stream, ibig sabihin, mababa ang sweldo.
Mababa ang sweldo, or it is below the median wage for that particular job, for that province. For example, let's just say, okay, for a food service attendant, okay, ang median wage for that is $18. Ang inoffer sa iyo ni employer is $17.95. Low wage na yon. Okay? So, and also, okay, yung tier na yan, yung level ng NOC na yan is low skill. Hindi rin siya applicable yung benefit na madadala mo yung family mo to Canada. So that's very important to note. Pag pinag-offer sa'yo ng trabaho, okay, it has to be at least, it's a separate discussion. We cannot discuss yung complexity ng tiers, yung levels, yung tier 1, 2, 3, tier 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pag ganyan yung level nung trabaho na inoffer sa inyo, posible nyong madala yung family nyo. Pero kung tier 5, hindi. Okay, so very low level na yun. So yun, lumalabas, ikaw lang mag-isa ang pwedeng magtrabaho in Canada.
So kumbaga mga kababayan, ang ideal na pumunta rin ng status sa Pilipinas pag ang ino-offer sa inyong trabaho ay low wage, eh yung mga single. Di ba?
Oo.
Oo. At kung
Oo.
ikaw ay pamilyado, low wage ang ino-offer sa inyo, eh kailangan nyo ng isang immigration consultant para masagot yung mga tanong.
Yeah, that's true. It's quite complicated. So pag ganyang mga kaso na, magtanong-tanong na kayo sa mga may knowledge about it. Meron pa, hindi lang yung nasa low wage stream ng temporary foreign worker program. Yung mga nasa seasonal agricultural worker program, hindi rin nila pwedeng dalhin yung mga pamilya nila. Kaya marami ring lumalapit sa atin, Rovic, na mga nag-work sa nurseries, sa mga ganon. Di ba? Paano ko ba dadalhin yung pamilya ko dito? That's another session for discussion. Pero merong ibang mga paraan na madadala niyo sila dito. Pero of course, lahat yan kailangan ng
Ang tinawag na, ano sa Tagalog, kaya ang masasabi natin pag sinabi nilang seasonal work stream. So siguro, ano siya? Kaya yung season.
Yung mga, yung
temporary.
mga nagpa-plant ng mga fruits, yung mga ganon.
Sobrang temporary. Kung merong temporary foreign worker na 2 years, yaan, temporary, months lang po ang pinag-uusapan. 4 months, 5 months lang ang inyong kontrata kasi nga season.
Yeah.
Summer ka lang. After summer, tapos na ang kontrata. Okay.
Yeah.
Maliwanag
yung mga nasa, what I said earlier was seasonal agricultural. Ngayon, hindi rin qualified yung mga nasa, not seasonal but agricultural stream of the temporary foreign worker program. So, kung yung mga farmers, hindi nila yan nadadala yung families nila. Okay? Okay, ano pa? Sino pa yung hindi qualified magdala ng pamilya? Yung meron kang refugee claim that was referred to the Immigration Refugee Board. Hindi mo rin madadala yung family mo. Okay? Hindi mo rin madadala yung family mo if you're subject to an unenforceable removal order. Meron kang violation in the past in your visa. Okay? Ano pa? Kung ikaw ay isang international student na working in a co-op program, hindi rin pwede yon. Okay, nadadalhin yung family mo. Or you're an international student working off-campus without a work permit. Kasi you yourself, you're not legal. Your status is not legal. Okay? And you're applying for a PGWP and you have not received a positive decision on your PGWP. Hindi pa rin pwede, your family. And, okay, lastly, the stream or the program you were hired under is listed on the LMIA approval letter you got from your employer. So, so the stream or program you were hired under is listed on the LMIA approval you got from your... So, yun, if that stream is all of the above, then it's any of the above, sorry, hindi ka qualified to bring your family with you.
It falls, itong tanong na to, kung madadala mo ang pamilya mo, it falls in one of the common questions, kaya nasa top 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's very important. Number 2 yan sa lahat ng mga nagtatanong sa akin, ano po ba pwede kong program for me? Madadala ko po ba yung pamilya ko? Yun yung pinaka-common question.
Alright. Okay. Maliwanag na maliwanag. Papasok na ba tayo sa top 3?
Top 3, yes. Okay, top 3. Ano ba yung mga requirements that you need to prepare for your work permit application? Okay.
Common question.
Yeah. So ito yung top 3 natin. Okay. Malamang kasi, it's very common na, okay, your resume, okay, Pakita mo yung resume mo, yung certificates of employment mo, yung educational records mo. Okay, these are things that prove that you can do the job that was offered to you. Okay? Pero not everybody actually is able to produce this. Lalo na yung mga certificates of employment. Okay? Dapat yan, ipaproduce nyo, sasabihin nyo sa kanila, hindi, nakapagtrabaho na ako sa ganitong klaseng trabaho. And you have to get proof of that from your previous employer. Maghingi kayo niyan. You know, very strong proof yan. Kaya minsan sa mga refusal na nakukuha ng mga kababayan natin, one of the refusal statements is, you were not able to prove that you're able to do the job. Okay, so yun ang one of the best proofs. Okay, yung certificate of employment. Anuhin mo yon, i-produce mo dapat yan. So ano pa?
Oo, kasi mga kababayan, common kasi sa mga na-encounter ko rin, ganito sabihin nila, Kuya Rovic, kahit na anong trabaho lang.
Yeah.
Hindi ho pwedeng ganun. Kasi dito, ang isa sa mga gusto ng Canada government, merong kang paid work experience na binayaran. Hindi yung nagbantay ka lang ng farm ng magulang mo na hindi ka naman binayaran, qualified na hindi. Alright, tuloy-tuloy tayo.
Okay. Ano pa? Well, aside from the regular, yung passport mo, kailangan valid for at least 5 years. Diba? Kasi yung iba, papakita ng passport, mag-expire na within 2 years, ay na-applyan mong work permit, 2 years. So, remember, na ang ibibigay sa yung visa ng Canadian government is only up to the validity of your passport.
True.
Hindi sila pwedeng magbigay sa iyo beyond the validity of your passport. So, kasi po ma'am, sayang Dahil 2 years pa. Sabi ko, masayang yung mag-a-apply ka na naman ulit ng work permit. Kung hindi pa, tapos yung trabaho mo or hindi pa tapos yung contract mo. Diba? So, i-apply nyo na yan na validity for, the longest you can apply for para what's this?
Hindi ma-reject.
Hindi ma-reject or hindi kulang yung number of months ng validity ng work permit nyo. Okay. Another thing na na-encounter ko sa Rovic, yung NBI clearance. Yung NBI clearance, meron diyang iba-ibang comment ang NBI. Merong nakalagay na no record on file.
No criminal record.
No criminal record. No derogatory record. Ngayon, kung meron ka nakalagay na no criminal record, okay? Ibig sabihin nun, meron dati. Meron dati, and you have to explain. You have to provide an explanation as to why. Okay, kapag no record on file, that's clear. No derogatory record, that's clear. Pero pag no criminal record pala, ibig sabihin meron before, but you need to explain why it was. So, it was probably dismissed or whatever, right? But you need to have an attachment that explains what it was.
Alam mo, magulo rin pala, no? Dapat no criminal record Dapat medyo may explanation pa. No criminal record as of this time, but yes, there was previously.
Yeah, kasi the experience namin yan. I didn't think it was an issue. Kasi nakalagay, no criminal record Pero, parang we got another letter saying, okay, they found something.
Ask for a letter of explanation.
Yes, yeah. So, to avoid that delay, explain na kung bakit. Yeah. So, that's one thing that I needed to say. Yeah, yung ano na yan, yung
So mga kababayan, kapag nakakuha ka ng no criminal record, at hindi mo kinuhanan kaagad ng letter of explanation, kasi nga nakita mo, no criminal record, makakatanggap si RIA ng letter from IRCC na napabalik kay sa NBI at pinapakuha kayo ng letter of explanation at merong attachment na letter yon, dalhin nyo sa NBI. So, magkakadelay nga ng konti.
Okay. Ano pa? Yung mga ito yung top, sa top 3 natin yung mga pertinent requirements. Yung top 2, yun yung mga hindi nakalista sa IRCC pero napatunayan namin na kailangan.
Alright. So, papasok na tayo sa top 2?
Sige, top 2 na tayo.
Alright. Okay. Top 2 na tayo, mga kababayan.
Okay, top 2. Ito naman, yung mga documents na kailangan i-submit pero hindi nakalagay sa IRCC as requirement. Kasi, napatunayan lang namin in the past na yun yung nagiging reason for refusal.
Okay. Interesting yan. Interesting yan.
Ano yung mga yun?
Yan. Okay. Bago yan, mga kababayan, itong sasabihin ni Ria, hindi nyo yata matatagpuan sa mga searches sa Google kasi nga unwritten ito na based on experience only by a licensed immigration consultant. Kaya napaka-importante dito kayo sa license. Hindi kayo kung kani-kanino sa mga ghost consultant o sa mga blogger, wag kayo doon. Dito tayo sa license talaga.
Yeah. Okay, so, we always have to remember na ang work permit is a temporary visa. Okay? It falls under the temporary resident category. So, what does that mean? That only means that you need to prove, the onus is on your side to prove that, okay, after my contract or after my work permit expires, I'll go back to the Philippines. I will not overstay in Canada. So, ano yung mga requirements na to prove that? Okay? Again, hindi sinasabi sa IRCC website pero kailangan ipakita mo, okay, may family ties ba ako sa Pilipinas? Meron ba akong uuwian? Okay, meron ba akong reason to go back?
Ano to? Under home ties.
Home ties, okay. Meron ba? Okay, sasabihin, di ba one of the refusal statements na nakukuha ng mga nare-refuse for a temporary visa is we are not convinced that you will not stay beyond the validity of your visa. No, that you will leave Canada beyond the validity. Okay. So, sa letter of explanation mo or sa mga submissions mo based on sa requirements ng application mo, ilagay mo na yon. Okay, these are the reasons that will compel me to go back to my home country. Ano-ano yon? Okay, properties, okay, investments, businesses, okay, your family members, okay. Sometimes we even show photos of family photos, okay. We show, investment documents. We show insurance policies.
SSS, PhilHealth, pag-ibig.
Yes. Yeah. So bakit? Kasi yung mga yon you will only be able to take advantage of pag andun ka. Hindi mo yan makukuha pag andito ka. Yung mga benefits na yon. So the government or IRCC looks at those as ties to your home country. Okay, that's one. Okay, and then what else? They also want to know if you can provide for yourself, even if may trabaho ka sa Canada, even if work permit yung ina-applyan mo. Okay, so you also have to prove yung money. Proof of funds is what you need to show. Okay? I think common na rin to na sa mga immigration consultants na hinahanapan na rin nila ng proof of funds. Hindi lang yung para sa mga study permits, para rin sa work permits. Kasi gusto mo rin ipatunayan na, okay, even before ako sumweldo, meron akong pera. So, it's not as much as, the study permit, proof of funds, pero dapat meron ka pa rin. Ipinapakita.
Under your name.
Under your name, yes. Yeah, hindi ka guys sa study permit, pwede yung sponsor, di ba? Pero dito sa work permit, we really, really recommend na yung pera is under the worker's name.
True.
Yes. So yan, hindi yan nakalagay sa IRCC requirements, pero we want our applicants to have that. Next, okay, English test. Magtataka ka, bakit? Okay? Kasi, okay, itong mga previous refusals na nakikita namin, that's some, I'm not sure if your viewers know about GCMS notes. Naghihingi kami niya ng notes from the IRCC officer na nag-refuse ng application mo. We want to know why they refused the application. A lot of, some, okay, maybe 8 out of 10, okay, nagsabi na, in the job requirements, nakalagay na this person needs to speak English. Pero, wala siyang English test na pinadala. So, dapat pala nagpadala ng English test.
Dapat nag-take siya ng English test.
Nag-take siya ng English test. So, yan, hindi mo yan makikita sa requirements ng IRCC. Pero, biglang si officer, yun ang hinihingi. Okay? So, one thing to note, tignan mo yung original job posting ng trabaho na inaplayan mo. May nakalagay ba doon na required to speak English or, you know, obviously, di ba? Sa iisipin natin, well, obviously, this is an English-speaking country, but you wouldn't think of taking an English test to prove that you can speak English, right? Pero hindi, you know, again, hindi yan part of the regular requirements, but, you know, now we do that. Now we send that because we don't want them to have, you know, but ay namin silang bigyan ng butas to disapprove our our application. So, bigay mo na. Diba?
Alam mo, tama yan. Sinasabi ko rin sa mga kausap ko na mabuti nang magsabi tayo na sobra-sobra kaysa kulang-kulang.
That's true.
Kasi wala pa akong nakitang desisyon na, nire-reject ko yung application mo kasi sobra-sobra ang binigay ko. wala pa akong nakitang ganun.
Yeah. At saka, lastly, yung medical. If you want your application to be approved right away, hindi na to skip a step, bigay mo na yung medical. Kasi wag mo nang hintayin na hingin ka pa ng medical. Oo.
Alam mo, sige, may dadagdag ako pag tapos ka na.
Okay na ako sa top 2 ko.
Alright, okay. So idadagdag ko lang mga kababayan, yung sinasabi ni Ria na medical, ang tawag dyan upfront. Kaya kayo, hindi na kailangan ng papel, di ba, Ria? Na pumunta sa clinic na accredited ng Canada. Kasi maraming aplikante sabi, asan yung sulat? Hindi na ho, ang tawag na po doon upfront. At alam naman noong mga clinic yun. Iba, Ria, yung sinasabi mo na home tie, sometimes yung iba, naglalagay sila ng pictures ng kanilang pets.
Correct. Yes, you're right.
Sa huli yun. Nakakadagdag yun.
Right.
Kasi ang ibang tao nga, pet is part of the family.
That's true.
Diba?
Canada, Canada is very concerned about animals.
Oo.
Generally.
Pagdating nga pala sa proof of funds, common question, okay, sige, maliban sa pondo ko, paano? Pwede ba sumulat yung aking relative na sponsoran nila yung bahay ko? Kumbaga ay parang idadagdag doon sa application na dito board and lodging sagot ng ang relative ko. Pwede kaya yun?
Actually, yes. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point, Rovic. So, yeah, in some of my applications, ganyan ginagawa rin namin yan. Kasi dun sa temporary foreign worker program, especially, dahil nga hindi naman galakihan yung sweldo nila, kung low wage or kung nasa hindi nasa low skill sila, hindi para baka isipin ni IRCC officer na kung sa sweldo nito hindi nito kakayanin na magrenta ng apartment. So kung merong ganong klaseng support, yes, it's going to be helpful for sure.
Pero doon sa principle na ina-apply natin na mabuti ng sobra. ang sinabit mo kaysa kulang-kulang. And
Correct.
finally, yung nga palang English test sa Pilipinas, alam ko nag-range siya ng 12,000 eh. Oo.
Mhm.
Ano kaya ang score requirement? Kasi for example, IELTS 1 to 10, no? Oo, more or less, ano kaya ang... Kasi nagva-vary naman yan eh, no? Sinasagot ko na yata yung tanong ko.
Oo.
Oo, pero 4, 5, 6, di ba?
Well, depende sa job title mo. Depende sa position mo. For example, kung nasa low skill ka, usually 4 and 5. Okay? Pero kung nasa management level ka, at least 7.
Ah.
'Di ba? Supervisory at least, 6 or 7, So iba-ibang skill level, iba-ibang requirement ng CLB.
Oo. Sa information ng mga kababayan natin, kahit na sa farm kailangan pa rin ng English kahit na 3 yata o 4 lang yung
Yeah,
score.
4. I think 4 is the lowest.
Kasi mo, nagtatanim ka lang nun, ha?
Yeah. Oo, kasi, interaction with other co-workers, suppliers, and, your supervisors is very crucial as well, right?
Very interesting mga kababayan ang topic natin. Pupunta na ba tayo sa top 1?
Top 1.
Okay. Top 1 na tayo mga kababayan. Ang topic natin, top 5 tips for a successful work permit application in Canada, courtesy of our regulated Canadian immigration consultant, Inducil-Abesamis. Take it away.
Okay. Top 1. Okay, ang top 1, this is especially for Filipinos. Okay? Dahil itong top 1 is related to, your overseas employment certificate. The overseas employment certificate is what you need in order to leave the Philippines to come to Canada on a work permit. Hinihingi ito ng immigration sa Pilipinas. Oh my gosh. I don't know, but this is really
additional ba to?
complicated.
Ano ba to? Additional burden na nakikita mo?
Oo. Actually, Rovic, yes.
Pwedeng wala
ang hirap nito. Nahirapan ako dito talaga. Kung pwede ko lang i-circumvent, which, ewan ko kung okay lang na sabihin to sa mga viewers mo. Kung pwede kayong lumabas ng Pilipinas, pumunta ng US, Singapore, or wherever, at doon kayo lumabas, papunta ng Canada, to avoid this requirement, please do it. Because it's so complicated.
Are you telling us, habang nasa Hong Kong sila, baka iba naman ng Hong Kong requirement?
No, because they go to Hong Kong as a tourist, and they leave Hong Kong, to go to Canada, and Hong Kong doesn't care whether they leave Hong Kong as a tourist or they leave Hong Kong as a worker, because they're not residents of Hong Kong.
Briefly lang, Ria, curious siguro, curious na ngayon ng mga tagapakinig natin, ano ba tong requirement na to at ano ba proseso nito? Naging number 1?
Bago ka yes, number 1 kasi ito yung pinakamahirap based on my experience na i-fulfill. Okay? Hindi, kasi ang involved dito, hindi lang yung migrant workers office dito sa Vancouver or the Polo as we call it, pero yung POEA din sa Pilipinas.
Mga kababayan, yung Polo ay sangay ng Philippine Consulate o Philippine Embassy na hindi ng Canada. Okay?
Oo. They call it the Migrant Workers Office. Okay, pupunta doon ang inyong employer. Ang inyong employer ay kailangan mag-submit ng documents sa Migrant Workers Office in Vancouver. Okay. Vancouver lang meron yan di ba, Rovic? Across all of Canada. Yeah, so lahat yan i-submit sa Vancouver. And the list of requirements is long. Okay, it's not a joke. It's like 16 pages or 16 documents that they need to submit. Okay, lahat yan in 3 copies nila isasubmit yan. Okay, just to give you an idea. Ano yon? It's a letter of request to the migrant workers office. Meron tayong template dyan. Merong manpower request or job order. Okay, may listahan naman to, pero the mere fact na 16 ang list of requirements nila is 16 documents. Medyo toxic talaga, no? Yung employment contract, copy ng passport ng employee, copy ng ID ng employer, lahat yan. Sasubmit
Parang
nila doon.
nakikita ko na napabalik-balik ka dun sa employer at yung employer mo, kung hindi naman siya lahat naka-ready na yan, pabalik-balik din siya sa government, sa accountant niya, sa book, whoever. You know?
Yes. So madugo talaga. But it's kung wala kang way, to circumvent this, kailangan mong gawin eh. Okay? So kailangan talaga yung employer mo is very cooperative. Okay? Or they have somebody like us who will do it for them. Okay? Now, meron dalawang options dito to get an overseas employment certificate. Kapag bago yung employer mo to hiring foreign workers, they can do direct hiring. Okay? They can do this themselves. Okay? Pero kung like maybe third, fourth, or fifth employee na kayo na i-hire overseas or from the Philippines, kailangan na to go through a recruitment agency in the Philippines, which may make this process a little bit easier for you and the employer. Kasi yung si recruitment office na in the Philippines, yung gagawa ng mga requirement na to. Nasabihin na lang sa inyo, o kailan ka mag-show up sa POEA for your seminar, because there is a seminar. In order for you, it's a step in the process for you to get yung overseas employment certificate mo. So I guess, just to make it clear, dalawang klase yan. Direct hiring at agency hiring. So, alamin kung si employer ay first-timer, baguhan sa pag-hire ng foreign worker, or may experience na. Kasi kung may experience na, ibig sabihin, meron silang contact na recruiter or recruitment agency in the Philippines who will process yung OAC for them. Pag ganon, it's better for you. Kasi, alam na nila yung gagawin. Okay? Kasi yung lahat ito, like after nilang ipa-verify lahat ng documents na sinasabi ko earlier dito sa Vancouver, ipapadala pa nila yan sa'yo. Originals. Ipapadala sa'yo.
Wow.
Para yan naman, ipakita mo dun sa opisina sa Pilipinas so that they can process your overseas employment certificate.
Parang mas mahirap pa to kaysa dun sa immigration papers
Kaya nga, sabi ko sa'yo, kaya nga ito yung top 1 ko. Hindi ka makakaalis approved ka na.
Are you telling us na ito ay hinahanap ng immigration officer sa Pilipinas bago ka sumakay ng eroplano?
Yes. Hindi ka makakapunta dito sa Canada nang walang overseas employment certificate.
Na pwede mong gawin pala na skip yan, i-circumvent kung ikaw ay lumipad from Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand,
US.
kung nandun ka as a tourist.
Yes. Ako, I can say that based on experience, because remember, I was...
So merong nakapunta rito na walang employee.
Yeah, ako.
Okay.
I skipped this process because when I went there, I said, seriously, I'm not gonna do that.
Baka naman nung 15 years ago, wala pang ganyan.
Meron na, apparently. So, yun naman, parang... they don't call it OEC, they don't call it this, but they called it parang clearance, parang immigration clearance. Sabi ko, hindi ko gagawin yan. Pumunta na lang ako sa US. Doon pa cross ako ng land border.
Galing.
No questions asked.
Uh-huh.
Right? So, yun nga, advantage mo kung may US visa ka or visa to any other country. Or kung wala ka namang visa, yes, Hong Kong is probably a good choice.
So paano, sorry, naguluhan lang siguro, baka may gusto iklaro lang yung nakikinig. Kailan siya pupunta ng Hong Kong or Singapore para ma-skip yan. Sorry, hindi natin
Paalis
pinag-uusapan
na
na
siya.
Ha?
Paalis na siya. Yung pupunta na siya doon. Yung doon na siya
Paano yung...
magagaling.
So hindi siya magde-direct flight, you are telling me.
Yeah.
Huwag siyang magkumuha ng direct flight, Philippine Airlines or whatever, from Canada to... from Philippines to Canada. So, mag-tour ka muna ng Korea sa telenovela, pag ano ka.
Yeah.
Tapos lumipad ka dito.
Yeah. Pero dala mo na yung gamit mo. Hindi ka na uwi. Diretso na.
Binabanggit natin yung mga kababayan, wala namang sigurong bina-violate na legal ano.
It's a tip. Kaya nga tips to diba? Hindi naman ito yung mga
tsaka
this is not a hard and fast rule.
Kung nagawa ng iba, 'di ba? Na wala naman sila na violate. Anyway, it's not anyway. So,
saka hindi kasi ito requirement ng Canada, requirement to ng Pilipinas.
Yeah, requirement.
So,
hindi hahanapin dito ng visa officer or immigration officer.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Ano pa? Okay na tayo sa top 1?
Yun ang top 1 ko kasi doon ako hirap na hirap. Sa tingin ko, kailangan malaman ng mga tao yan. Yeah, kailangan nilang malaman yan. And all the rest, if you only interpret the IRCC website clearly or patiently, you'll be able to understand it. Pero dun sa mga walang oras at dun sa mga, they'd rather have the peace of mind, syempre nandito naman tayo, Rovic, to answer all their questions, no? So, yeah. So, yan ang, sana nakatulong yung mga top 5 tips natin kung paano kayo magiging successful sa inyong work permit application. Kung may questions pa kayo,
alam niyo mga kababayan, gustong-gusto namin na makapunta kayo dito at makapagtrabaho. Napakaganda ng Canada, napakaganda ng trabaho, ang government, ang mga employer ay magandang ma-experience yung magtrabaho. Kaya gustong-gusto namin kayong makapunta rito, magkaroon ng successful application ng inyong work permit. So Ria, saan kanila pwedeng makontak?
Yeah.
Para sa kanilang applications? Hindi lang sa work permit, sa lahat ng pathways, mga kababayan, kahit na business, where can they get in touch with you? Actually, nasa likod mo Kung
nasa likod ko nga. Yan. Ang ating numbers, 778-953-3626 or 778-918-6573. We're available on WhatsApp or Viber. Para sa mga Filipinos, I think Viber sila, no? Now, gusto ko rin i-announce that the company iConnect Global is concentrating in the next couple of years to really help our kababayans in the startup visa program. We have been specializing in this in the last year, and we think that there's a lot of potential sa Philippines dun sa mga gustong mag-apply ng startup visa dito sa Canada. At if you have any questions about that, we will be very happy to answer them.
Briefly lang, ano ba yung startup visa para sa mga tagapakinig natin?
This is Canada's permanent residency program for entrepreneurs. So kung meron kayong isang brilliant or innovative idea that you want to explore here in Canada, or gusto nyo i-try out dito, you need to get a designated organization to support you, and Canada will do the rest.
So tandaan niyo mga kababayan, hindi lang as worker ang pwede kayo pumunta, hindi lang student, hindi lang as a caregiver, pwede rin kayong pumunta rito as a business person, as an entrepreneur. Magkakaroon tayo ng separate episode with our guest, regulated Canadian immigration consultant, Ria Inducil-Abesamis, regarding startup visa. Alright?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay na tayo. Anything else? May ipopromote ka ba? Hindi ka ba pupunta ng Pilipinas for some seminars?
Soon kasi tinatapos ko pa yung aking certification dito sa sa business immigration law. So pagkatapos niyan, pupunta na tayo ulit.
Very exciting ang startup visa na yan. Mag-schedule ka agad natin ang ating episode diyan. Okay, so that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thank you so much, our licensed immigration consultant. Mas kilala nilang license eh.
Oo nga.
Sa Pilipinas, okay. Registered Canadian immigration consultant and headhunter, our special guest for today, Risa Inducil-Abesamis. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Rovic.
Thank you, and that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is ABC All About Canada, a program that informs, educate, and inspires our fellow kababayans with interesting topic about our community. My name is Rovic Canono. I'm a realtor in British Columbia and also an immigration consultant, licensed immigration consultant. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you.